Okay. So now we are at the end of day two of the SCG test match between India and Australia. India, in response to Australia's 338, they've scored 96 for the loss of 2 wickets. Good day for India overall, Didi. I thought the stage where Australia was 200 for 2, to bundle them out for 338, first of all, is a big achievement. And then number two, I thought India started really well. They lost both the openers. I think Rohit's dismissal was a classic Rohit Sharma dismissal, soft dismissal. And Shubman Gill, he got a goodish delivery and he got out. That's okay. But the good part is that the pitch looks all right to bat on, and both Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill showed that if you show enough intent and you play compact, there is good scope for you to score runs. So first comments from you on how India bowled today.
I think from where they were like 200 for 2 almost, right, to get restrict them under 350 is a very good performance, right? India's bowling, you have to tip your hat to, right? We don't even have our second line of attack. It's essentially a third line of attack, right? But the highlight for me the entire day was Ravindra Jadeja. Not even Steve Smith, not Labuschagne, not Mayank Agarwal 50. Ravindra Jadeja's evolution as a cricketer, and India is proud, as lucky rather, that he plays for India, right? His evolution as an all-round, asset. Steve Smith was playing in a way that he could have easily scored 30, 40, 50 runs more. The way he was hitting, because with 1 wicket left and one hit, Jadeja just had one chance. He made use of the chance, right?
Yeah. It also kind of
Jadeja's utility as a cricketer for India. He was not played in the first test match. He showed his value in the second test match. And I think he has silenced all critics around his position in the team. And I just hope that India do not drop him in any situation, in any form of the cricket.
Are you suggesting that now in red ball cricket, irrespective of the conditions, Jadeja has to play in the playing 11?
Yes, I am suggesting that irrespective, even if we are playing on a seaming wicket, I am saying that Jadeja has to play in, because he brings in that extra X factor which can change matches. He will play. He will give you the 30, 40, 50 run. He will save runs in the field. He will bowl overs quick. Jadeja is just because he is a spinning all-rounder, it doesn't mean that he doesn't get a chance in the team ahead of a fast bowling all-rounder, right?
And then
so I think,
and that also brings me to the point. So, for example, if I'm playing, say, a bowler like or a player like Hardik Pandya, or say even Green is playing for Australia, I know that he's a fast bowling all-rounder of sorts. But for me, whatever little I have seen of Green, it doesn't matter if you are a fourth, fifth medium pacer or you are a good quality spinner. It doesn't really matter that way.
Absolutely doesn't matter. Plus, India has 3 solid pace bowlers, correct? And Jadeja will not give you loose deliveries. He is a live wire in the field. So Jadeja, let's not talk about his ability as a cricketer. He has, I have seen Kapil Dev and then I have seen Ravindra Jadeja.
Okay, so that's a massive comparison, at least in the red ball space. But yeah, from an India perspective, I really
absolutely, and that wicket, he just at will, he just changed the course of the match today. Steve, 40-50 runs more would have. The way Smith was playing, he was not looking to get out. Right?
Yeah, it would have deflated the Indian attack for sure, at least mentally. The number of 350, the number of 300 in itself is daunting enough. Had the number between north of 350 runs, obviously, like, it becomes a little too much for the team that bats second. Great.
So yeah, Jadeja has to be the star of the day for me, and in fact, the performer of the day. But yes, Steve Smith was he was due for a run, and big
Absolutely.
score.
And
And
see,
he,
I think I think the scene was set for him. Sydney offered the flattest of the pitches, and nothing to take away from Steve Smith, but it was a flat track. India were fielding like you said, the third bowling attack. Okay, not the first, not the second, but the third line for India. And I thought that Steve Smith fought well, and he batted with fluency and confidence right from the beginning of his innings itself.
absolutely. Yesterday, in fact, if you saw his intent when he came,
Yeah,
he was not in a mindset to block. He was in a mindset to
correct,
score.
correct.
So hats off to a world class player. You have to give it to him. So
Absolutely.
overall, I think a good day, but I think I would still give the edge to Australia because they have won the very important toss.
Yeah, they've batted. They
And
already have 340 runs on the board. India are still 250 runs behind. So I will also give, say, advantage Australia, and that's the beauty of Test cricket. If you're able to bat first, and if you have runs on the board, 300 plus, chances are more than often that results will continue to favor you because the second team is always catching up.
absolutely. And you talked about Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. Rohit Sharma,
Yeah,
he so beautiful to watch, right? You sometimes feel angry. Why do you play such a casual shot, right? You know, there is no beautiful sight in cricket than to watch a full flowing Rohit Sharma bat. He's one player who can play a ball late at any point of time he wants. He has all the shots in the book. He can clear any boundary in the world. If you saw that he, he 1 or 2 overs of Lion, he was first giving him the
that
respect,
was
and
a
then
95-meter six. That hit of
yes.
Nathan
So
Lyon.
he is perhaps, if not the best, one of the best pullers and hookers in world cricket. There is
Yeah.
no natural puller and hooker like him, right? The guy has like talent emanating from every part of his body, and he gets out to a very very soft dismissal,
Yeah, it was
which
a
is
soft dismissal. I agree. I thought that, we can talk
they
about
had
it,
blunted
but
out the attack. They had
yeah,
it was Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, which I keep on saying is the future of Indian cricket as a batsman. It had blunted out the Australian attack. It just on the run of play, Rohit Sharma got out, and I think Gill got out to a decent enough ball. He's still very young, and he has a head over his shoulders, right?
but any
So
remarks on Shubman Gill? Because see, when I saw Shubman Gill in MCG and when I saw him today, he has gone from strength to strength. That's number one. Number two is that Shubman Gill seems to have two, three amazing shots in his repertoire. And the shot that has impressed me the most is his back foot punch in the covers. That is the shot that I grew up watching Sachin Tendulkar play a lot on fast and bouncy pitches, up on the toes and through the extra cover region, not through the backward point region.
yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah,
Ajinkya Rahane plays those back foot punches, it is more in the cover point area. But when Shubman Gill is playing them, he's playing them in front of the wicket, which is absolutely amazing to see because what a batsman actually needs to play that shot is that one has to judge the length of the ball very very quickly. You have to rise with the bounce of the ball, and yet you need to have so much of time in order to swat it in front of the wicket and not actually behind the wicket. So that is the shot that
absolutely.
really
And
took my breath away.
in fact, the good thing and the common thing, if you had watched both these players playing, right, the one common thing with both of them were that both of them seem to have so much time with
Yeah,
them to play the ball. And if you also I think Glenn McGrath was talking about it. The same shot, if you hit in the same ball, if you the length at which Pattinson and Cummins were bowling, they were bowling a length which was an Australian length, right?
yeah,
In India, you could have easily driven them.
yeah,
But in Australia, because the ball rises more, it was not easy to drive. And even
correct,
then, Shubman Gill was figuring out a way to drive
correct.
because he was seeing the ball early. He got out to a good delivery, and it was a good catch also by Cameron Green. For a
Yeah,
tall guy, him to come down,
absolutely. It was a very
it
good
could have
catch.
easily split him either way, right?
Yeah,
So I am really really excited at Gill and hoping that India stick to him. The other point is that, somewhere down the line, I feel bad for Mayank Agarwal as well. The guy has done a lot, but such is the situation now. Rohit Sharma automatically selects himself in the team because of, he's
Yes.
Rohit Sharma, right, and somewhere down the line, I feel bad for Mayank Agarwal, but I think it's a healthy competition that we have in the team. With
I
Virat
think,
Kohli back in the mix, things will be different. Yeah.
yeah, it will be difficult, and it will be difficult even for the likes of Hanuma Vihari. But then keep this entire discussion for later,
Yes.
uh, with all the ifs and buts. But I just want to sort of also draw your attention towards how Jasprit Bumrah has bowled, not just in this test match, but in the entire series so far. He has bowled like a workhorse. Okay, he has bowled for a fast bowler. The number of overs that this guy is bowling, and the pace that he's maintaining, the control that he's maintaining, and with the new ball today, I thought that his spell was superb, absolutely superb spell with the new ball on a docile pitch, because the pitch had nothing to offer,
The
nothing.
guy is absolutely unhittable. The guy is absolutely, unless you start slogging out, which Steve Smith did. You just he will be there. I think, I don't know if I am right in analyzing that, but I think he's a faster version of Glenn McGrath.
Yeah,
He will be there at you if he got 2 wickets with foolish deliveries, right? And before that, he was bringing the batsman, back with a short delivery, right? He has perhaps the best Yorker in the world cricket at this point of time.
correct.
The guy has everything, and more importantly, I think he's a very, very thinking bowler,
Yeah, he sets
which
his batsman up.
he sets batsmen, which Zahir Khan was in the second half of his career. He
Yeah,
beautifully used to set up batsmen with so much of variation. Of course, Zahir had a lot more movement off the seam, off the wicket. But this guy is. I just hope the Indian physio and the Indian, you know, he is an asset of India. Like, if you ask me to choose an all-time India 11 in any format, Jasprit Bumrah will walk in that team.
yeah, yeah. So that being said, I thought Australia also fought back pretty well by picking up Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. The approach that Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara took in the last 1 hour of the play, uh, do you think that was the right approach? Do you think we could have scored a little bit more? Or in the larger context of the series and the match itself, it was just that both of them soaked the pressure in. They had the confidence in their defensive games, and they played out for safety today.
Look, I would want to say a few things on this. If we would have had this discussion 10, 15 years back, right?
Yeah,
Our minds are now so much psychologically, you know, imbibed with the shorter version of the game, or the shortest version of the game. We just sometimes forget that this is a 5-day match. It's not a match to be won in. You don't get credits for the number of runs you score in the number of balls,
yeah.
right? If you look at the Indian batting lineup today, Pujara and Rahane are the fulcrum of this batting lineup. And if one of them got out, it could have again opened up a Pandora's box. Opened up the entire batting lineup with one or two good deliveries with this Australian bowling lineup. So it's a combination of two things. You have perhaps the world's best 4 bowlers bowling together at one go.
Agreed.
You had players playing for stumps.
Yeah.
So I think Rahane and Pujara were absolutely perfect. I know that the scoring rate was less. I'll any day take a less scoring rate versus a fall of 1 wicket.
I completely agree. I would also settle down with this score versus a score of say 125 for three. I think the wickets are of value here, and we should also not forget that even a batting lineup is depleted, because then
Yeah, we don't have Virat Kohli, right?
yeah,
So,
at the fall of the next wicket, the next pure batsman who is going to come in is Hanuma Vihari,
and he's
and
also short on confidence.
yeah, he's also short on confidence, and plus he's a newish kind of a player, still trying to find his feet, etc. So I thought that the approach that Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara took today was an old school approach. And if we look closely at the careers of these two players, how these players have grown up in the Indian domestic circuit, both of them, they have They've played a lot of Ranji Trophy, and they've
Yes.
gone through the grinds of this classical 4-day format or the long format, where they understand, different phases. When we talk about the first test match in Adelaide, we lost the test match in a span of 30 minutes.
Yeah. 30
Those,
minutes to 45 minutes then.
correct.
We were
Those 30
that whole
minutes,
graph we were talking the other day, right? So if you
yes,
look at that pie chart, India were ahead in, I think, after the 2 days, India were ahead in all
exactly
sessions.
the same 30,
Most
45
of the
minutes
right.
could have been repeated today also. But I feel that they really, really blocked it out. And uh, sometimes, as audiences, we do not appreciate the defensive games so much, because to defend,
Sunil Gavaskar once, said, that your ability as an opener is also judged about how you leave, right?
yeah,
And if you look at today Shubman Gill, the amount of deliveries, he knew what to leave and what not to leave,
yeah,
right? So, and Pujara, of course, we don't need to. And I think that Pujara is the critical. This is the ideal stage for Pujara to shine,
yes,
because it is set up for him. It is his kind of situation. The wicket is good. Of course, Australia has the best bowling lineup, so it was the same bowling lineup 2 years back. So tomorrow's first session will determine which way the match is going. I would still give advantage Australia, because
okay,
it takes one good ball to take a wicket, right?
yeah.
And
But let's hope for the best as Indian fans. So, Didi, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your views. It is advantage Australia slightly, ever so slightly. I feel that it is uh, a good balance, uh, where the match is posited at this point of time. But I will tend to agree with you more, because I feel that with the kind of batting that has happened in this entire series and the sort of bowling that is the Australian attack is, it is advantage Australia at this point of time. But let's get back tomorrow and see how day three, which also is supposed to be the best batting day, and also, classically as well, it's supposed to be the moving day in Test match cricket.
I just hope, as in, day three in Sydney is something that reminds me of, if I have to put anyone to bat in Sydney, I would go with VVS Lakshman and not even Sachin Tendulkar, because that guy is a freak. Sometimes it's just brings back memory of Lakshman's presence in the India team, right?
No,
So
I think once batsmen settle down, it becomes a fairly easy batting track. And we saw that with Steve Smith and Labuschagne. We also saw it with Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill briefly today. So if both Rahane and
yes, absolutely. But
Cheteshwar
the
Pujara,
point here is that if you see any attack, right, you will every batsman will do a mathematics. This is the bowler I know will give you a chance, but this attack will be relentless at you,
yeah.
which is where the difference will be tomorrow. So if they can nullify it, as an
But
Indian
the good
fan,
good part is that they've already been made to bowl 45 overs already. So the
yes,
ball will be older. They will be slightly tired, slightly sore. And I also realized that possibly Mitchell Stark is not going to run in and do 7 overs or 8 over spell. He's only going to do three to 4 over spell. So basically, it is a rotation between Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, and Nathan Lyon.
Cummins is too good a bowler, and and Lyon, I really like the way he has his variations. For some reason, I am more kind of worried about Lyon than the pace bowlers, because somehow I still feel that Indians are still not very comfortable against quality spin. The best player to play Lyon was Rohit Sharma, without a doubt. Virat Kohli is not there, but anyways,
I
let's
thought
hope that
I thought Shubman Gill played Nathan Lyon better than
yes,
Rohit Sharma.
Shubman Gill
I thought,
played some of the shots he hit in the
yeah,
offside, especially coming down the wicket,
he was not
was
at all
really
tentative against.
slow.
And even Mayank Agarwal, if you remember, I think all the players who play a lot of classical off spin in the domestic circuit, they are far more comfortable playing Nathan Lyon versus the international players of India, who possibly have lost this art of playing continuous, rigorous, spin bowlers on dust bowls. I don't know. Maybe it is just a hypothesis which I have, but I have seen that players who come out fresh from the domestic circuit, they they play these international spinners much better than our own international batsmen. So that's my hypothesis.
Possibly, it's a good observation, but we just hope that tomorrow we
Yeah, let's hope that.
have
And I
a
already saw that
yeah.
Cheteshwar Pujara has moved his guard. He's shifted towards the off stump.
He shifted on the middle stump.
Yeah, he
He's
wants to.
moving
He
well.
wants. Yeah, he wants to open up the mid wicket and that long on mid wicket area in order to counter Nathan Lyon. Not just to counter, but also to to be able to score run against him. So fantastic. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and then let's come back tomorrow to see how day 3 moves. Hopefully in favor of India.
Yes, fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, Didi. See you tomorrow then.
See you. Bye bye.